In today's show, Tim Draper seeks to DeFi the venture capital business with Bitcoin. That's right, Tim Draper wants to DeFi venture capitalism, also noting that the Bitcoin price will hit $250,000 in the coming years thanks to consumer adoption. It was just 2 years ago he made this bullish price prediction of $250,000 Bitcoin by 2022, and when asked if you're sticking with your prediction that Bitcoin will hit $250,000 by 2022, Draper said, yes, Bitcoin will hit $250,000 by 2022 or the beginning of 2023. That 250,000 is really based on a 5% market share of currencies. I think that's easily achievable. I'll be breaking all this down for you in today's show. Also in today's episode, happy birthday Bitcoin. The Bitcoin price just hit 14,000 exactly 12 years after the white paper was released. That's right, check this out. As Plan B tweeted right here, the best present on Bitcoin white paper day is a $14,000 Bitcoin price. Touche. Crypto Bull pointed out 12 years ago today, the Bitcoin white paper was released, and quoting Satoshi, it might make sense to just get some in case it catches on. If enough people think the same way, that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're damn straight. And check this out, the Bitcoin price on the 31st of October, which is white paper day, from 2013 at $204 to today's price at $13,700 plus. We'll be discussing all this in today's show. Max Kaiser also just made a prediction of a $15,000 Bitcoin price by Monday, and Bit Harrington just shared, compared to the past, we will see a short Insane Mania FOMO peak above 100,000. It's impossible to say how high exactly, anything between 120 and 220,000, I guess, based on the previous tops. Also in today's episode, cash is trash, so let's bet 425 million on Bitcoin. This is a pretty big deal coming from the Wall Street Journal, referencing MicroStrategy, who could have gotten rid of its excess cash by paying a big dividend or buying back a ton of stock, but instead the company made a big digital currency bet on the king of all crypto. Also in today's show, we'll be taking a look at the overall crypto market. Bitcoin is up 4%. All the major altcoins are surging. If we can close today above $13,880, this will be the highest Bitcoin monthly close in BTC history. All this plus so much more in today's show. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day, so be sure to smash that subscribe button, that's right, and turn on all notifications to receive daily, premium Crypto News Alerts every single day, just like this, including weekends. And before I kick off today's show, if interested in tapping into OPM, leveraging other people's money to grow your wealth and crypto portfolio, then smash that link right below the video in the description. All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts. I'm your host, JV, and let's kick it off by diving into today's top story of the day. And happy birthday, Bitcoin white paper. Lots to discuss, a lot of bullish news. Let's break it down. 2 years ago, venture capitalist and noted Bitcoin investor Tim Draper publicly stated that the Bitcoin price will hit $250,000 by 2022. Yet, as Bitcoin continues to gain interest from investors, Draper revealed to Cointelegraph during this exclusive interview that a $250,000 Bitcoin price prediction may have been conservative. I think it'll certainly hit that, but a lot of people are thinking that 250,000 was a little too conservative. He goes on to share, Draper also discussed the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the blockchain space, noting that the tokenization will play a major role in solving problems related to the global shipping and real estate. Additionally, Draper shared his thoughts on the decentralized finance, or DeFi, saying he wants to DeFi the venture capitalist business moving forward. All right, now for some of the highlights of this exclusive interview with Tim Draper and Cointelegraph. I'll include this original resource for you to reference for yourself in the show notes below the video in the description. Now for some of the highlights. What are your thoughts on how the COVID-19 pandemic is impacting the blockchain space? Tim Draper responded, a couple of things have happened since the pandemic. Some people say it's condensed the time for us to adopt new technologies. People are stuck in place and they're saying, yeah, why don't I try to see what VR is like for remote medicine or remote education? Some of the things that we've been backing over time have gained a lot of attention during the pandemic because people haven't been able to leave their homes. The other thing that has happened was when the US government printed $13 trillion, they immediately diluted the dollar by 20 or 30%. Pretty substantial, right? That was a real shock to the system. People then said, well, wait, where do I put my money? Do I put it into gold or do I put it into Bitcoin, where it's a great store of value? A lot of people have said they want to move their money into Bitcoin. That's right. And another thing is that millions of people are going to die from this pandemic, but 135 million are going to die from starvation because of the government's reaction to the pandemic. Touche. Government lockdowns have shut off different supply chains around the world. As a result, People are starving. Tim Draper's not telling any lies. But whenever there's a crisis, there's a great opportunity to do something extraordinary. When there was a financial crisis, for example, Satoshi Nakamoto came up with Bitcoin. And I think that as we're able to put more restrictions and more accounting systems around the blockchain, we're going to be able to use Bitcoin interchangeably with dollars. That's right. Next question. Right now, the world is in the midst of a crisis. Which technological breakthrough will help humanity come out stronger on the other end? And he responded, tokenization will advance. We're seeing it in real estate, global shipping, and in everything where items of value need to be moved between parties. Now, these items can be transferred over the internet, which is so useful for industries like real estate and global shipping. In the case of real estate, you can buy a piece of my house, or you could tokenize my real estate and own a piece of that property without having to buy the whole thing. That's right. One Bitcoin can be divided by 100 million Satoshis. That's pretty sweet. Now, tokenization and shipping is also a great way for people to own containers to keep a track of the entire lot. I think we're going to see some extraordinary breakthroughs in shipping and also in any kind of logistic use cases. Next question. Another thing that we're seeing is the rise of DeFi. Do you think DeFi is just a bubble, or will this actually drive adoption? Tim Draper responded, I think that DeFi had to happen. People have been sitting on their Bitcoin and other cryptos, just watching as they appreciate and value instead of having the money being put to use. But you want your money to constantly be put to use. I ultimately want to DeFi the venture capital business where I raise a fund just in Bitcoin, I invest it just in Bitcoin, and the entrepreneurs pay their employees and suppliers all in Bitcoin. Then all the accounting through that system could be on the blockchain. My relationship with the entrepreneur and my relationship with my investors can all be on smart contracts so that there's a big winner. It can all be distributed into many different Bitcoin wallets. I think this will eventually happen, but right now the accounting isn't set up. We're now seeing the early DeFi use cases, but longer term, all the accounting, the taxes, the whole thing will be done using Bitcoin. All that DeFi will then become a bridge to refi, where it's retail and we're using this as the major currency for all of the purchases. It will just become a part of the world economy. I think this will include Bitcoin along with 4 or 5 other cryptocurrencies. Ultimately, I think that fiat currencies will slowly go away, and I think that the governments who are saying, oh, I'll do a centralized crypto that is tied to my country's currency, well, that defeats half the purpose. He's right, half the purpose of doing this is that your currency is not tied to some political force. You can't inflate against debts, and you can't operate the way Argentina has been for 100 years. You have to operate fairly across the board. That's the beauty of what we got in crypto, which governments don't have with fiat currency. All right, now for the $1 million question. Cointelegraph asked Tim, are you still sticking with your prediction that Bitcoin will hit $250,000 by 2022? Draper responded, yes, Bitcoin will hit 250,000 by 2022 or the beginning of 2023. That 250,000 is really based on a 5% market share of currencies. I think that's easily achievable, especially as more women start using Bitcoin since they control 80% of retail spending. It's really interesting that there used to be 1 in 15 Bitcoin wallets that women held, and now it's advancing. As women start using those wallets, they'll realize this is much easier. I moved as much as my money as I felt fair into Bitcoin, and so yes, I think it'll certainly hit that, but a lot of people are thinking that was a little too conservative. Let me know your thoughts on his $250,000 Bitcoin price prediction. Too conservative? Where do you think the Bitcoin price will likely go this cycle? Drop me a comment right down below and check it out. Happy birthday, Bitcoin. The Bitcoin price just hit 14,000 exactly 12 years after the white paper was released. And before I break this down, let's first take a look at the overall crypto market. Check it out. Bitcoin up 4% and surging, just at about that $13,800 mark. If we can close today at $13,880 or above, this will be the most bullish, highest monthly Bitcoin close in BTC history. Talk about being bullish. As you can see, all the major altcoins are starting to surge. Once again, we have Ethereum up 2.7%, trading at $390. Chainlink up 3%, trading at $11.34. XRP up 2.3%, trading just above 24 cents. Miss Litecoin up 4%, trading just below $56. Cardano up 2%, trading at 9.4 cents. BNB up 1.7%, trading at $28.77. So as you can see right now, things couldn't be more bullish. Happy birthday, Bitcoin. All right, now let's break down our next story of the day. The price of Bitcoin surpassed 14,000 very briefly today on Bitcoin's birthday, October 31st, since the Satoshi Nakamoto released white paper, which was released back in 2008. Since then, the world's biggest crypto has seen remarkable and exponential growth across various areas. You can say that again, as you can see right here on your screen. Fast forward 12 years since October 31st, 2008, release of the white paper. Bitcoin is in a different growth trajectory. You can say that again. And institutional craze is leading the Bitcoin rally. Major financial institutions are supporting crypto assets, and the market has become increasingly liquid, which is definitely a great sign. We have two very powerful forces right now. That's the post-halving bull cycle meeting the Bitcoin 12-year anniversary. That's right, the 12-year anniversary of the Bitcoin white paper is particularly special for Bitcoin because it marks the third post-halving cycle. Every 4 years, Bitcoin undergoes a block reward halving, which cuts the rate at which new BTC is mined by half. This happens because 21 million Bitcoin can never exist on the blockchain. As Bitcoin approaches its fixed supply, the rate of production gets slowed down. That's right, a halving historically has had a positive impact on the price of Bitcoin. In fact, the market typically goes parabolic proceeding the following year. It reduces the pace the new Bitcoin supply is introduced to the market. Consequently, every 4 years, there is less Bitcoin flowing into the exchange market. That's right, we have more demand and less supply, which causes the market to go parabolic. The 4th, 8th, and 12th anniversary of Bitcoin are more noteworthy than other anniversaries for this reason. It coincides with the post-halving cycle, and the latest halving occurred just a few months back in May of 2020. The historic prices of Bitcoin on the white paper day have seen considerable growth over the past decade. I actually want to show this to you right here. Bitcoin price on the 31st of October, which is the birthday white paper day, back in 2013, $204, in 2014, $338, 2015, $314, 2016, again, this is the time of a halving, $700, the year following that halving in 2017, $6,468, then 2018, $6,317, 2019, last year, $9,199, and this year, today, 2020, $13,732. And as Zach pointed out right here, I sure hope Bitcoin does the 10x in the next 12 months like it did 2016, 2017, and then shoot straight up in the following weeks after that too. 200,000 plus Bitcoin, December 2021. Let me know if you agree with Zach's bullish price prediction right here. And speaking of the Bitcoin price, even though we just touched 14,000, we did get rejected at 14,100 across major exchanges. The price of Bitcoin reached a peak of 14,100 and saw an immediate rejection just today, Saturday, October 31st. Most of the selling pressure came from Binance, which caused the price to quickly fall by 3% within minutes. But guess what? We're right back on the climb. And prior to the rejection, massive buy whales on Hobby and Binance initially pushed Bitcoin upwards. There was a 1,371 Bitcoin buy wall on Binance at 13,680 and another big buy wall at over 13,800. A pseudonymous Bitcoin trader known as CL just shared here on crypto Twitter. This is the biggest buy wall on Hobby that I've seen in a long time at $13,820. But as Bitcoin surpassed 14,000, traders on Binance began to sell large amounts of Bitcoin in a short period. Prior to Bitcoin's upsurge to 14,100, tech investor and Cointelegraph markets contributor Keith Waring wrote, "Sadly, Bitcoin will get rejected at 14,000 and go back below the 2019 high thanks to Binance whales. So what's going to happen next when the Bitcoin price surges rapidly and violently rejects?" Traders described the pattern as a Darth Maul candle. Shout out to Star Wars. May the Force be with you. After such a large spike in volatility, Bitcoin tends to stabilize and consolidate. Considering that 14,000 is a crucial resistance level, Bitcoin would likely consolidate under 14,000 and continuously attempt to break out. I do feel very strongly that we can close above $13,880, making this the highest monthly close in Bitcoin history. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Checking out these tweets right here. Plan B wrote, "The best present on Bitcoin white paper day is a $14,000 Bitcoin. Touche. No complaints from me." All right, and before we discuss Max Kaiser's $15,000 by Monday Bitcoin price prediction, as well as Bit Harrington's bullish Bitcoin price prediction of $120,000 to $220,000, as well as cover this very bullish article from the Wall Street Journal entitled "Cash is Trash, so let's bet 425 million on Bitcoin." First, let's take a look at the overall crypto market cap, sitting at 404 billion with 88 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. BTC dominance still on the climb at 63.8%. 8%, according to CoinMarketCap. And now checking out the top gainers within the top 100, we have Ample fourth, up a whopping 20%, trading at 98 cents. Blockstack up 15%, trading at 16 cents. We have Ren up 13%, trading at 26.7 cents. Loopring up 13%, trading at 13.4 cents. And Kusama up 8%, trading at $30.86. And now checking out the biggest losers within the top 100 in the past 24 hours, we have ABBC coin down 11%, trading at 37 cents. Hedge Trade down 3%, trading at 60 cents. Velas down 3%, trading at 3.9 cents. And Ocean Protocol down 1.7%, trading at 41 cents. Now, out of this list of the biggest gainers and losers, which altcoins in particular are you most bullish on? Drop me a comment right down below. And now checking out the Binance margins, we can see the bulls are barely in control, leading with 51.8% longs versus 48.2% shorts. Are you currently bullish or bearish on the king of all crypto? Holla at your boy. And now checking out one of my favorite indicators, the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, shows we're currently rated a 73 in greed. Yesterday was a 74 in greed, and last week a 73 in greed, and last month a 45 in fear. And if you're not familiar with the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, extreme fear can be a sign investors are too worried. That can be a great buying opportunity, aka BTFD, buy that frickin' dip. And when investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. All right, now checking out this tweet from Max Kaiser. Shout out to Max and Stacy Herbert of the Kaiser Report. Max just tweeted yesterday that $15,000 Bitcoin by Monday. Let me know if you agree or disagree. It does look, now that we've touched 14,000, that this is very much a very likely scenario. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Shout out to Rave Elevator, one of our listeners who wrote Bitcoin. So how do I get this drink straw in the mass out here? I never thought to ask. Bitcoin, money, blockchain. There you have it. Now, this was my response to Max Kaiser. F yo couch. I can't wait. That's true. I can't wait. Now, the Crypto Dog just asked his 232,000 followers on Twitter, what's your most realistic bet for the Bitcoin top of this bull run? We had Bit Harrington respond, compared to the past, $1, $10, 100, 1,000, 10,000. We will see a short Insane Mania FOMO peak above 100,000. It's impossible to say how high exactly. Anything between 120 and 220,000, I guess, based on the previous tops. And he's responding to his tweet here on October 13th. Bitcoin from 1 to 10 to 100 to 1,000 to 10,000 to 100,000. If we never see a sub 10,000 again, this is actually happening right now, and nobody notices anything except us bullish. As what? And he included this graph, which I'll include in the show notes below the video, in the description. Let me know if you agree with the Bitcoin top prediction from Bit Harrington or disagree in the comments right down below. And before we break down our final story of the day, cash is trash, so let's bet 425 million on the king of all crypto. This is a Wall Street Journal article, extremely bullish. First, I want to remind you to smash that show more button right below this video in the description for a detailed analysis of what's going on in the market. This goes for all 580 plus videos right here on my YouTube channel. Also some very helpful resources for you to plug into, including the blog to my podcast, which could be found at cryptonewsyes.com. Also be sure to smash that subscribe button right below this video, or if you're listening or tuning in on a different platform outside of YouTube, the direct YouTube link is cryptonewsalerts.net. You can also find us on all the major podcasting platforms, from Spotify, the home of the Joe Rogan Experience, to Apple's iTunes. The links are right here in the description. You can also follow me on Twitter to receive daily crypto news alerts. FYI, I'm very active on Twitter. My Twitter handle is cryptonewsyes. And for those of you active on Facebook, I do have a private crypto Facebook group entitled Crypto Alchemy, with over 17,000 cryptopreneurs just like yourself from all over the world. To become a part of it, simply click this link, request to join. I'll be sure to plug you in. And for those of you active on Telegram, I do have a private crypto Telegram chat. To join it, click this link. You'll automatically be added, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you personally on the inside. All right, now let's break down our final story of the day. In volatile markets, you can use cash as offense or defense. MicroStrategy, which recently had $500 million in cash sitting around, thinks it can do both. The company would have gotten rid of its excess cash by paying a big dividend or by buying back much of its stock. Instead, MicroStrategy bet half of its total assets on Bitcoin. So this is a publicly traded company, or is it A hedge fund. This foray into digital currency puts an old paradox of investing into a new light. As the great financial analyst Benjamin Graham observed long ago, the better a company is at producing goods and services, the more likely it is to pile up more cash than it needs to sustain the business. Why keep that surplus cash locked up and idle when investors could put it to better use elsewhere? That's a great question, isn't it? Most shareholders and corporate executives weren't bothered much by excess cash when it yielded 5% or more. Now that yields are near zero, investors need to pay attention. When cash is trash, the pressure to take unprecedented risks with it is likely to rise. And that's exactly what we're witnessing right now. MicroStrategy, based in Tyson's Corner, VA, sells technology that enables businesses to analyze internal and external data. With software and services so cheap to produce and provide, the company keeps piling up cash. MicroStrategy's revenues have barely grown over the past decade, from $455 million in 2010 to $486 million last year, yet the company finished 2019 with $566 million in cash and short-term investments, up from $174 million a decade earlier, even after shelling $425 million for Bitcoin and $61 million for stock buybacks since August. MicroStrategy still has $53 million in cash. And let's not forget, in the past 60 days alone, they profited over $100 million thanks to their Bitcoin investment. That's right, MicroStrategy has been one of the hottest stocks in technology boom of the late 1990s, returning 567% in 1999. The company lost more than 90% the next year amid a Securities and Exchange Commission investigation into its accounting. But 2020 has been a whole new story. In August, when MicroStrategy announced it had invested a whopping $250,000 into Bitcoin, the stock jumped 9% in a single day. A month later, the company declared it would continue to put most of its excess cash into Bitcoin. The stock rose 23% in just 2 days. At their peak on October 23rd, the company's shares have doubled in price since their low in early March. MicroStrategy's Mr. Saylor says the primary objective of buying Bitcoin isn't to make the stock go up, but to keep the company's purchasing power from going down. That's right. Thanks to the Federal Reserve's immense intervention in the economy, the U.S. monetary supply is soaring by one measure, up more than 20% this year. Mr. Saylor expects the pace to continue at 10 or 15% annually, not just in the US, but globally. He goes on to share, "We realize that the cash is trash," he says. "We have needed either to shrink the capital structure or move our cash into something that's going to float on the flood of liquidity and not sink under the flood of liquidity." All right, now for a quick recap of what I covered with you here in today's show. Tim Draper wants to DeFi venture capitalism, also noting that the Bitcoin price will hit $250,000 in the coming years thanks to consumer adoption. And when asked if he'll stick with that prediction of $250,000 by 2022, he responded, yes, Bitcoin will hit $250,000 by 2022 or the beginning of 2023. That $250,000 is really based on a 5% market share of currencies. And what better present than the Bitcoin price hitting $14,000 exactly 12 years after the white paper was released. Also in today's show, I shared the fact Max Kaiser's predicting a $15,000 Bitcoin price by the end of this weekend on Monday. And as Bit Harrington pointed out to the Crypto Dog, he believes the Bitcoin price will soar from $120,000 to $220,000 this Bitcoin top. Let me know if you agree or disagree with his price prediction. Also in today's show, I shared a very bullish article coming from the Wall Street Journal entitled "Cash is Trash." So let's bet $425 million on Bitcoin. So where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go from here? Drop me a comment right down below. Well, that's going to conclude today's show. As always, I appreciate you tuning in and journeying along with me inside this incredible crypto matrix. If you gain value out of today's show, be sure to smash that subscribe button. That's right, and turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, including weekends just like this. And real quick before I go, if interested in tapping into OPM, leveraging other people's money to grow your wealth and crypto portfolio, then smash that link right below this video in the description to register for this free system entitled OPM Wealth. You'll be glad you did, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode. Peace.